Hi everyone, welcome to this video session on services marketing. Let me explain why do we need to market the services. We all know we are all comfortable with the product marketing, but services also to be marketed because of the competitiveness. So in today's scenario, all the services are marketed. So let us see what is the meaning of services. Service, any act of performance that one party can offer another that is essentially intangible and doesn't result in the ownership of anything. Its production may or may not be tied to the physical product. So let me explain this definition. So one party is offering a service to another person which is essentially intangible. You cannot see it, and since because you are enjoying the service, you cannot claim it, so you are an ownership of that service. So it doesn't result in the ownership of anything, and its production may or may not be tied up to the physical product. So sometimes it may be physical product may be involved, but majority of the time physical product may not be involved. So this is the meaning of services. Let us see categories of service mix. It may be pure tangible good. Sometimes the offering consists primarily of a tangible goods such as soap, detergent. No services accompany the product. You just sell only the product. No services accompany the product. Another category is good with accompanying services. The offering consists of a tangible good accompanied by one or more services. Example, cards, its delivery, repairs, maintenance, warranty fulfillment. Here 50% services and 50% product. Car and its services like delivery, repairs, maintenance, warranty fulfillment, that is an example for it. And hybrid, the offering consists of equal parts of goods and services. For example, people patronize restaurant for both food and services. It's both involves, that is why it is called as hybrid. The best example is we are going for a hotel, food is also important, here service is also important. The next category is services with accompanying goods. Majority portion will be by the services but minority by the goods. The offering consists of a minor services along with additional services or supporting goods. For example, airline passengers buy transportation. Here the trip includes some tangibles like food, drink, airline magazine, but majority is only services. Traveling is a majority, but minority is a food, drinks and airline magazines. Then finally, pure service. Here the name itself suggests you that there is no accompanying product. Only the majority is a services. The offering consists of primarily of a services. For example, psychotherapy, massage, haircutting. Here no accompanying products. Let's see what is the service distinction. Service vary according to the equipment based or product based. Whether you are using equipment or you are using the people, it may vary. Equipment to equipment, people to people, the service may vary. Service process, whether you are going for fast food, cafeteria style, buffet, candlelight services, it may vary, the service may vary. Client presence required or not required, hair cutting versus car repairing. So for hair cutting, you need to be there, physically there, and for car repairing, you need not be there, only your car need to be there. So if the client present is, we have to be considerate. Whether you are going for personal needs or business needs, service may vary. And objectives and ownership, whether you are a profit motive or whether you are a non-profit motive, whether you are a private company or a public, so the service may vary. Let us see what is the different characteristics of the services. First one is intangibility. As I told you before, you cannot see the services, but you can taste and you can feel and you can hear and you can smell before they are being bought. So people look for evidence of the quality. They will draw inferences about quality from the people. place, equipment, communication, material, symbols, and price. The next characteristic of the service is inseparability. Services are produced and consumed simultaneously. Client has to be present during the service. For example, if you are going for a hair cutting, you cannot separate. Client presence needed. The production and consumption will take place at the same time. So the service provider can increase his speed, can learn to work in large group, because when there is a more crowd, then it takes a lot of time. So you need to know how to give the service in a fast mode. The third characteristics of the service is variability. So the service vary from person to person, time to time. So you need to invest in good hiring and training to give the standard service. For example, if you visit a McDonald's restaurant, whether you are buying pizza or I am buying the pizza, the size and weight will be the same. So you need to standardize the service performance process throughout the organization. You need to monitor the customer satisfaction. If the service vary, the satisfaction will also vary. So you need to minimize the variability so that you can give the good satisfaction. The next characteristics is perishability. Services cannot be stored. Perishability is not a problem when the demand is steady, but when the demand fluctuates, the service firm will face the problems. Your product may perish. So when you offer a service, you need to make sure that the gaps cause unsuccessful service delivery. So you have to make sure that there is no gaps. There are basically 5 gaps that may involve when you are offering a service to the customer. Gap number 1, gap between customer expectation and management perceptions. The management doesn't always correctly perceive what the customer wants. The hotel administrator may think that customer want better food, but the patients may be concerned with the good service, or the customers may be concerned with the good service. So if that is the case, that is the case gap number 1. Your expectation is different from the management perceptions. Gap number 2, gap between management perception and service quality specifications. Management might correctly pursue the customer wants but not set the performance standards. So the hospital administrator may tell the nurses to give the fast service without specifying in minutes. If that is the case, there could be the problem between the hospital management and the customers. You need to be more specific service quality specifications. Then gap number 3, gap between service quality specification and service delivery. Your employees may be poorly trained or incapable of or unwilling to meet the standard, or they may be held to conflicting standards, such as taking time to listen to the customers and serving them fast. So this may create a gap number 3, that is between the service quality specifications and service delivery. Then gap number 4 is gap between service delivery and external communications. So customers' expectations are affected by the statements made by the company representatives and advertisements. If a hospital brochure shows a beautiful room, but the patient arrives and finds a room to be cheap and poor looking, so you communicate something differently, but actual delivery is something different. So if that is the case, the consumer may be feeling bad. The final gap that causes unsuccessful service. The gap between the perceived service and expected service. This gap occurs when the consumer misperceives the service quality. The physician may keep visiting the patient to show the care, but the patient may interpret this as an indication that something is really wrong. When the doctor is visiting the patient very frequently, the patient may understand that something wrong with my health. That is the reason why doctors are frequently visiting. But actually the doctor may visit to show the care to the patients. So you make sure that these 5 types of gaps are not happening when you are delivering the service to the customers. Finally, you need to ensure the service quality. The following are the determinants of the service quality. You need to ensure the reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and tangible to the customers. Then only the service quality will be achieved. Hope you enjoyed this session. Thanks for watching. Keep learning and growing. Thank you.